Overwatch 2 is known for its team play, flashy abilities, and interesting character design. And one of the most important design functions of a character is their ultimate. We're going to go through the top 3 ultimates of each role: tank, DPS, and support. Let's get right into it with the tanks. The third best tank ult is Zarya's Graviton Surge. This ult is essentially a huge vortex that sucks any enemies nearby in, causing them not to be able to move or leave, and so they're essentially just sitting ducks, taking all this damage from Zarya and her teammates as they are displaced and cannot move out of this vortex. Graviton Surge is an extremely oppressive ultimate and can easily turn the round for Zarya's team. Coming in at number 2, we have D.Va's Self-Destruct. D.Va's Self-Destruct is an extremely powerful ultimate just because you can launch it so far away from yourself and not even realize you're gonna get a kill because somebody didn't take cover. The radius of D.Va's ult is insane, and now in the 5v5 mindset, there are some new maps with less cover spaces than usual, and so it is easier for D.Va to get a multi-kill. And the best tank ultimate in our opinion is Sigma's Gravitic Flux. This ultimate is similar to Zarya's as it displaces movement, but instead of putting them all together, it lifts them up into the air, dealing damage, and after a short amount of time, drops all the enemies back onto the ground, dealing percent max health damage. This ultimate is insane in a team fight as it removes any enemy that was in the radius of Sigma's ult out of the battlefield for 3 seconds, and they really don't have great aim in the air, so Sigma's allies can easily shoot them down. And if Sigma's allies didn't get the kill while the enemies were in the air, don't worry, because Sigma's ult damage deals 50% of their max HP, so it's sure to pick off those pesky little supports or DPS that are really low on health. Moving on to DPS, the third best DPS ult, and this might be a little controversial, is Symmetra's Photon Barrier. Photon Barrier is an extremely oppressive ultimate in a lot of different maps, and not a lot of people really know that, as Symmetra is one of the least played characters in the game currently. Photon Barrier has a 4,000 shield health. It covers the whole entire map from where she spawns it, and it stops multiple other DPS ultimates from happening, such as Sojourn, Soldier, Pharah, and Cassidy. This ult is a great counter ult as it blocks so much stuff, and if you are in a control point, you ult the control point and the enemy can't even step onto the point because if they walk through a shield, they're essentially going to get blown up by your team hiding behind it. It is an insane ultimate for her allies and a complete deterrent for her enemies, and that's why Photon Barrier is definitely in the top 3. Number 2 is Bob. Ash's Bob is literally his own character as he deals ridiculous amounts of damage, is a playable model, and can deal more damage than Ash does herself. Bob is a force to be reckoned with, and if your tank does not deal with Bob, everybody will surely die in the team from him. With his absurd health at 1000, Bob is definitely able to withstand a lot of shots and ultimates from the enemy team while dealing 112 damage per second, which is ridiculous. And the best DPS ult in the game currently is Sombra's EMP. In Overwatch 1, it was extremely powerful because enemies were hacked for 7 seconds, so the whole entire enemy team couldn't use their abilities for 7 seconds. In Overwatch 2, hack lasts only for 1 second, but anybody affected by the EMP will be taking 40% more damage from Sombra. So it's an extremely snowbally ult, stopping all abilities for a couple of seconds while also dealing massive damage to the enemies. And moving on to the supports. The third best support ultimate in the game is Ana's Nano Boost. Nano Boost can turn the fight around for your team, especially if you Nano Boost a DPS that's competent with their aim. They'll surely be able to get multiple kills without needing to use their own ultimate or sometimes their own utility. Nano Boost gives a burst of health, a damage boost, and damage reduction. Moving on to number 2, we have Lucio's Sound Barrier. Sound Barrier has always been an incredible support ultimate, giving around 1000 extra shielding. It can turn the fight around as well pretty easily as your whole entire team has around 3 times the health, and so you can stay in the fight longer, deal more damage, and take more aggressive angles. And the best support ultimate in the game is none other than Kiriko's KITSUNE Rush. This ultimate is literally just insane. It's Ana's Nano Boost on steroids. Everybody in the radius is gaining 50% movement speed, and also it's the first ability that reduces cooldowns, and it's reducing them by 3 times if allies are standing in the KITSUNE Rush. You can get multiple Junkrat Mines, multiple Protection Suzus. It's just ridiculous what you can do in this ultimate, and it surely will become, and it already has become, a staple for support ults. Well, those are our top 3 ults per class. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.